Might have a bit of fun on this one.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Go on, get over 300 yards, Carrie. Yeah.
Oh God.
That's gone, isn't it? 340 nearly.
So I've got a fitting today with Chris at Shanklin Sandown, and we're going to be testing out the new Taylormade drivers, the Qi35 range. There's 3 different heads, gives you 3 different options. We're going to first start off by testing my Titleist GT3 and then put it up against the new Qi35, see if there's a new driver potential to go in the bag for 2025. That weren't bad. 304 yards. So first ball off the rip, 2.5 spin, not bad. 284 carry, 304. Try to up the spin in this because I've been getting some toe strikes out on the course that have just been falling out the air. So the little bit of extra spin is just keeping them toe strikes in the air for me.
What shaft have you got in here?
I've got Ventus Blue 6X.
Right, okay.
I did have the black, but that was just a. I was just talking. I get a toe strike that like spin will just drop to like 1500 and just fall out the air. So I've tried.
It always will with the toe, isn't it?
I've put this higher lofted so that like even my standard one now before would probably go longer, but that toe strike, mate, is just like that's the killer for me.
Nice. Very nice.
That is quite nice. Don't know if I want to hit anymore with that. Yeah, do you think that's a slight high bit on the spin side for me or not?
Not really.
Or would you
I'd always say if you're around 2.5.
2.5.
I mean, what are you launching at? 11. So yeah, if you're around 2.5 with around 12 degrees launch, that's pretty good.
But I've seen like, if I drop that number to 2K, it's gone. Like I'm flying that 315. But like I say, when I get that off strike, it's game over. So
that's why it's important that when you get fitted for a driver that it's as good to have a club that performs on miss hits as well as when you hit it out the middle.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, it's no good having one club that goes 330 1 minute, but when you hit it bad, it goes 270.
Yeah, it's falling
You'd rather
out,
hit it 290 every time.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah.
Should we go one more?
Yeah. Get 5 actually with this club.
5, yeah. That's that toey one.
Interesting to see what the spin rate is.
Yeah, probably dropped to like 2K.
2K is still not bad though.
But that's
if you were spinning it at
still
like 1100, 1200.
Yeah.
Yeah, see that spin's fine.
Yeah.
If you were spinning it at like 1100 spin, then that would just be falling out the sky and snap hook.
See, I've had that on A1 before, and it's just like that one would be literally like 1.6.
Your launch angle just gets low there, but it's going to because you've pulled it, haven't you?
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, for a pull like that,
Still in play, isn't it?
That spin rate's fine, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you were spinning it at like 1400, 1500, then you'd probably have a bit of a problem. But
Yeah.
sounded a bit bottomy, but was it all right?
Yeah, it was all right. Yeah, maybe a touch.
Your average distance is 294 carry, 316 total.
Yeah.
With 2,500 spin. I mean, that's pretty good numbers.
Yeah.
You know, if you were looking at sort of, I mean, you could argue that, yeah, you could do maybe, you know, in an ideal world about another 200, 300 RPM less spin, but that's very hard to...
Yeah, it's so hard to get it, isn't it?
That exact number.
And then where I've got that toe miss as well, I think it just, you bring in that...
But when you think about it, when you look at these shots, you know, the ones that you've hit left, you can see because the launch has gone down.
Yeah.
But your spin rate has still remained...
Still in that region.
Yeah. So, you know, that driver's pretty good for you.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Yeah.
What we'll do is we'll start you in... Should we work our way... So from max.
I think I was going to say max.
Because otherwise, what will happen is you'll try that and it'll be perfect.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is we'll go with the
max head.
The the max head to start with, and then you'll be like, oh, I'm spinning it too much.
Yeah.
And then
we'll work our way into.
And then it'll be like, when you get down the end, it'll be like, oh, they're more the numbers that I'm looking for.
A lot of players though last year, they were going standard head.
A lot of them are.
Like loads.
Well, what it is that Taylormade they've moved the CG lower and further back.
Right.
So now you can hit it more off the bottom and get more results.
In the standard head.
Well, just in all
general,
of them.
right?
So this is just a standard head max with a Khalil 60 white shaft. So sort of like, out of all the shafts we've got, it's the lowest spinning, lowest trajectory one, which is probably more in your sort of street.
In the region, yeah.
Yeah.
And this head, is this the heaviest one out of them?
No.
It's not?
No, so basically, as you can see on the heads, they've got this one here, you haven't got any weights, whereas on the other ones, you've got more adjustable weights. So this is just purely like, not a core head, because obviously the core head's a different model, but it's just not as much, you can't change as much.
Going on the top,
you can obviously change the lofts, but it's just, you know, once you get it there, and once you get the loft dialed in, that's it.
Yeah.
See how you go with this one.
Straight.
Come off load, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
On the line. Oh.
I mean, it's straight.
Yeah.
But you can see, look at your backspin numbers here. 3.5. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a fairway finder.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
The spin rate.
I think as well. That's when like you know you talk about different purposes for different heads. It's like that's probably not going to be suited for a tour pro. But for someone that's trying to find fairways,
yeah, I mean, but you know, Nick Doherty's
I saw that
using the max head, so there's obviously some, you know, Nelly Calder's been using it.
Get the right combo in it. It's
I mean, obviously the shafts are just a little bit whippy for you, unfortunately, but I mean, don't get me wrong, that's launching quite well, isn't it?
Yeah. Feels nice off the face as well.
Don't get me wrong, you've probably, if there was a line down the middle of the fairway, you'd have been a yard off it first time and about 3 yards off it that time. So it's not bad. But again, you can see you're launching it. You're launching it lower than what your own driver is.
Yeah.
But your spin is so high that you're just losing. It's just not. It's got no momentum to it.
Yeah. Shall I try and launch one a touch higher?
Yeah, go on. Just trying a high one. Why not?
Might drop that spin a little bit. That was that toe ball. Do you know what was really surprising about that? That felt really toey, but it still felt like I middled it.
Right.
Which is really interesting, because on my Titleist I can feel it.
Yeah.
That felt
There you see, you've hooked it.
Yeah.
Spin's gone down. It's gone further, but you've missed the fairway, haven't you?
Yeah. Felt like it came out of the middle still.
Yeah. I mean, it's designed to be forgiving, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, this driver's all about, you know, forgiveness and.
Although that's doing that, it feels ridiculous. Like.
Does it feel good off the face?
Feels very forgiving, very. Spins down, isn't it?
Just hit one more. Yeah, try and if you hit it straight though, I think the spin will creep up.
Yeah.
Nice.
That might be up there, I reckon.
It is. Look at that.
Yeah. Felt like I timed one up there.
It's a good distance. It's up with yours, isn't it?
Which is interesting, isn't it?
There you see the spin is obviously down to 2.5 there, which is great. More like what yours was.
Yeah.
And the launch is about the same. So
off a stiff shaft as well.
If we look at the table again, you can see with this one your total distance is down 13 yards, and your total your carry is down 13 yards, and your total distance down 14. But look at your spin rate average; it's another 300 RPM.
Yeah, it's up, isn't it? Yeah.
You know, and launch wise,
it's actually down, isn't it?
You're actually launching it down, so you're launching it lower, but obviously with more spin.
Yeah.
So you know, distance wise, not bad, but you know, not really sort of up with your one, really, unfortunately.
No.
You know, when you look at that, I mean, you're getting a bit more spin on it to the left, average. I mean, you know, you're 25 yards offline with that, whereas with your own one, you were 5 yards. So, you know, a little bit more offline with the Taylormade compared to yours. But again, it doesn't help that you're using a
maybe not a perfect shaft.
A whippier shaft.
Yeah.
But, you know, all in all, not bad numbers considering that, you know, you just smack 5 balls with it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
pretty decent.
Surprised off that shaft as well that I've even got that last one surprised me.
Yeah, I mean,
because I didn't think I was going to hit that.
The problem is though, you know, when you look at those 5, when you look at your one,
yeah,
you know, look at your spin rates. I mean, there's between miss hits and good hits, there's what 300 RPM between them. Whereas for this one, you know, you said I felt like I towed it, I felt like I've hit that good, I've pulled it. But look at the spin rate difference.
Just jumping.
You know, there's 1100 between, 1200 spin between the lowest spin and the highest spin.
Yeah.
Whereas with your one, the spin is 300 revs between the lowest and the highest.
Just tight, yeah.
So, you know, you're getting different ball flights, different results.
Yeah.
You know, and you've hit 5 shots again. So.
Yeah.
Right. Let's try the core head now, shall we? I think shaft-wise. The only thing we could do maybe later on is maybe when we get to the LS is put you in that Khalil blue because it's a slightly higher launching shaft.
Right.
You know, when you look at it, look like low trajectory and mid trajectory.
Yeah, mid, right.
So what we'll do is when we get
it's like a slightly higher launch.
When we get to this one, we'll try you in a few more shafts. Whereas at the minute we're just sort of
testing
through it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's try you in the same shaft. Right.
I like how this driver's looking this year.
Yeah.
It's looking good.
Yeah, I mean, I had the core
Qi10 last year, didn't you?
Yeah, and I thought it was the best driver I've ever had. I'm not exaggerating that. I loved it.
But I just think the colourways and...
You can get it in a glossed over finish.
Can you? Yeah, I quite like the grey.
I quite like it. Looks sort of more spaceshipy, don't it?
Yeah, I like
looks
it.
Like there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Right, so same ball, same shaft.
Yeah.
Just core head this time.
Yeah. Same loft?
Same loft.
Okay.
Same loft, same shaft, just different head.
Interesting.
Wow. Watch out in there, Bobby, because I've been smacked in the
almost took you out.
I've been smacked in the head a few times by flying tees.
Have you?
What was that then?
What happened there then?
Lower spin.
There we go. 15 under. That's what I was experiencing with mine. And it felt like that.
It's interesting how that spin's dropped, isn't it? Well, it's supposed to compared to the Max. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Felt like spin kicked up there a little. Yeah, I'm surprised I'm getting...
That's very nice.
I'm surprised I'm getting these numbers with a stiff shaft. So just shows the stiff and the extra stiff. It's not...
What we'll do is we'll put an extra stiff in a minute and see what happens. I mean, that's very similar numbers to your one, that one.
Yeah, very similar, isn't it?
Have you noticed you're launching it lower?
Yeah.
You know, 8.5, whereas your one was around 10, wasn't it?
Yeah. Mind you, though, Rees, I think my driver is lofted up.
Right, yeah.
I've probably gone to like 10.
Nice. That one looks like it might have spun a little bit more, but
yeah,
not
it
much.
did.
Still good though, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it's performing well off the head, isn't it?
Yeah.
2.9. According to that, you had no side spin.
0 side spin.
Apparently. Launch angle was a bit higher.
Yeah.
9.9, but you're trying to hit that one a bit higher.
Maybe a hair, yeah.
Spin just crept up a little bit, but you know what's good is it's not spinning too much.
No.
It's a little bit on the high side.
Yeah. Spin's your friend though sometimes,
isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, really, if that will spin more and won't go anywhere near as far because you've blocked it and cut it a bit. But the thing is that if you're trying to hit more fairways, you know, you're going to spin it more and you're going to lose a little bit of distance. But that was nice. I don't think you'll hit it much better than that, will you?
No.
That's going to go. That's going the furthest today.
I'm finding with this one.
That's gone the furthest today. Look at
this one, I'm getting like a lot of response off the face though.
Bit hotter.
Like that first toe strike, felt it. Heel strike, felt it a lot. That one, I've felt that I've buttoned that.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at the numbers. I mean, the backspin's 2.5. You've got the launch up as well.
Yeah.
To 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always find, just from a rule of thumb, not necessarily these drivers, but generally when I'm fitting people, if especially sort of the better player, if they're spinning it around 2.5 and they're launching it around 12, they tend to be pretty much near optimum.
Yeah, in the money zone.
I mean, you've hit 5 balls with that one. I mean, when you look at the table again,
yeah,
you're 293 with this one and 316, so you're a yard carry off your own driver.
Yeah.
On average, but hitting it total the same distance.
Yeah.
Obviously another 12 yards further in the core head compared to the max.
Yeah.
Another 14 yards.
So interesting, isn't it?
You're another 13, 14 yards longer with the core head as opposed to the max head.
Yeah.
And in pretty simple terms, you're only 300 RPM less with the core head.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, you're nowhere near as offline. I mean, you're the most accurate with that driver. Out of the whole lot. Yeah. You're only 2.7 yards offline as opposed to 25 with the max and 5 with your own.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, I mean, it's pretty much,
it's near the same, isn't it?
You're spinning it the same as your own one.
Yeah.
I mean, if we just go up a little bit, you're spinning it within 20 RPM of your own one. Your launch is pretty much the same. It's 0.2 different. Yeah. So pretty much, at the minute.
That last one just scared me a little bit. Like that.
The core head, pretty much is bang on for you.
Yeah.
Well, when you look at it here, though, again, your spin's jumping a little bit up and down. Based on, just on where this one here, you hit it a bit left, first up. Yeah. So the spin's always going to go down. Yeah. When you look at this one as well, where the spin was down, spin got up, you hit it right. Yeah. So depending on whether you're hitting it right or left, the spin rate's varying, but that's the case with any driver. Yeah. Not just with these. If you hit it 40 yards left and then 40 yards right, the spin's going
to deviate. Yeah, 100%.
But when you look at it, I mean, again, pretty solid numbers. I mean, obviously you're a good driver of the golf.
It shows how important that number is for me. Like 300 RPM.
What the spin?
Has made a difference of 12 yards in carry.
Yeah, I mean,
it's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah,
just by changing that RPM.
But like I just said to you, is that obviously the length you're hitting it, you're not really striving for distance. You're striving for something that you can hit fairways.
Fairways, yeah.
And when you look at it, I mean, your spin's down from the max, but it's always going to be the case because it's just the CG in that max is very much quite low and towards the back, so it's designed to spin more. Mm-hmm. But when you look at your numbers there again, pretty solid.
Interesting, right? Yeah, not at all.
The only thing I will say is that with your own one, if we creep back up here, your spin rate is like 300 RPM between the worst and the best.
But I think that's that shaft and head combo. I'm just used to it. I know where it's kicking. Do you know what I mean? It's the first time I've tried that shaft.
You're used to timing it like that. But I mean, when you actually look at all those numbers. I mean, interesting. Your descent angles pretty much bang on as well with all the heads. So I think 9 degrees is a good loft for you. Yeah. I mean, maybe what you could do is to get it up, like you say, we could just tweak the head. Yeah. Maybe one notch, higher, which it adds 0.75 loft, but it will close the head about 1 or 2 degrees. But, that might help, but it's not like you're slicing this driver. No. You're hitting it more left, if anything, than your own driver. Yeah. So the last thing really you want to do is add loft, and I mean, I think as well with this, if you start adding loft, the spin's just going to keep jumping up and up. So
for sure.
I would say this driver's pretty decent.
Pretty good, isn't it? Really. Yeah, 100%.
What we'll do, we'll go into the LS head in this shaft again. Mm-hmm. And then what we'll do is then we'll introduce maybe that extra stiff shaft. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter if it's not.
Bang on, yeah.
But I think what's good is you're getting numbers with this shaft with all 3 heads.
Yes.
Because obviously,
so that we can just see the difference in the heads.
Correct.
Yeah, and that's crazy.
Yeah. So like this here, you've got a 13 gram weight at the back. Yeah. And a 3 gram weight at the front. And what you can do is, if you were to put the heavy weight more at the front and the lighter weight at the back, it would make the CG go more towards the face, which is going to just lower spin. So probably better players will do more likely do that. Yeah. Just because, the spin rate, the harder you hit it, the more you're going to increase spin and stuff. So that's an option that you could have done.
That's crazy.
And obviously that's
new this year. Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't.
Because that weight was on the back last year, wasn't it?
I think you could do it with the Qi10 off the top of my head. I can't remember unless I see one, but you couldn't. I think you could get different weights as an option in there. I don't know if you could change it.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Whereas that one you can change it.
Right. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, the Qi10 never had a weight here. It had a weight at the back.
Yes.
Which you could get an optional heavier one.
Yeah.
Or a lighter one. But you know, so you could say, oh, look, I want the heaviest weight possible.
Yeah.
But they didn't have this one at the front.
Right.
So you couldn't move the heavy weight to the front.
Yeah.
So the core head's just got a little bit more versatility.
Yeah. That's unreal.
This one, obviously, you've got a heavy weight at the back, which is 13 again, and you've got 2 weights at the front, which is 3.
It's interesting as well. Like that's got no weights.
Yeah.
The core head's got 1 weight.
Or 2 weights.
2 weights.
2 weights, which you can
then
change.
You've got 3 weights. Unbelievable.
Yeah. So obviously, someone who, for example, is slicing it, you could put the heavy weight and move it into the
neck
into
of
the heel.
Yeah.
And then that's going to hopefully promote a more into-out path to counteract that slice. Someone like me who snap hooks it, you know, I can move the heavy weight into the toe. Yeah. And you know, that will give me more. Hopefully, make it more out swing.
Yeah.
You know, so it's all designed to you know, help swing paths and stuff.
They're trying to make the game easy, aren't they?
What we'll do is we'll start it on 9 degree like we have the others, and just leave the weights as standard for the minute. Okay.
Yeah. Nice.
Right.
And as well, I think the thing with the LS head for me is the way that it looks when you put it down.
Well, yeah, this is it's more of a deeper head, so you know, a bit more deeper and less, you know, a bit more together here.
Yeah.
So it's not as wide here.
Really noticeable when you put that down after
deeper.
Using them.
Yeah.
Really
a lot
noticeable.
of guys, like you say, on tour use this one, but
in
the past, you know, the tour players would always use this head, but this year it's a little bit more sort of up in the air. Which
people
one
are
they
moving
want.
it around. Yeah.
We'll put it on the turquoise one here.
Nice.
Okay.
Let's see what this puppy's doing then.
So naturally, you would expect the spin rate to come down a little bit with this head. Hence why it's called LS, low spin. Gives it away a little bit. That's shot off the face, isn't it?
It felt hot, mate. Felt hot.
Yeah, very good. Good distance. Be interesting to see what the spin is.
Low, I reckon.
Only just though.
Is it? Yeah.
You know, 2, 3. But that's more, I'd say, in your ballpark.
Yes. Yeah.
Launch is a little bit lower as well.
Yeah.
Very nice again. What's good is that
I really like that flight, just starting it out there.
It's still staying in the air, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you look at these dots up here as well, I mean, you know, your dispersion with all of them, you know, is pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah.
I mean, so far this one's been right up there with yours.
Yeah.
You got the launch a little bit higher that time, but again, it held its spin rate, which is good. It's not like the spin's increasing with the launch, which is perfect, really.
Wow.
A little bit pulley, but I think that's where you know you're.
Do you think that shaft maybe a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, you can see it's too whippy for you.
Yeah.
Personally, I mean, as you can see there, you pulled it.
And as well, the big thing.
Went down, spin went down.
The thing with grip for me as well, where I've got like a smaller grip on.
Yeah, oh God.
That's a massive tendency for me.
Yeah. That's very good. Got the lefts more than I've ever seen you today. Well, it's not exactly left, is it? It's on the 330. I mean, that's probably 332. Probably gone the furthest out of the lot.
Yeah.
But again, it's not all about distance, is it?
No.
I mean, when you look at that again, you know, the spin rate's pretty much perfect, really.
Yeah.
Just over 2,000.
Is that my 4th? Yeah, this is number 5.
Yeah, number 5, yeah.
Might have a bit of fun on this one.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Go on, get over 300 yards, Carrie, yeah.
Oh, God.
That's gone, isn't it? 340, nearly. No.
Sniffed it.
That's pretty good, isn't it? I mean, again, when you look at, if we go onto the table again then, just to go back what we've been looking at so far. You know,
it's the first time I've had 180.
First one you've got over 300 yard carry on average.
Yeah.
I mean,
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
wow.
That's gone up. You know, you've gained 10, 11, 12 yards.
Wow.
And 327 total.
Yeah.
And you know, if we look at that compared to the core head, which we thought was the best out of the previous two, you know, that's an 11 yard carry increase and an 11 yard total distance. And what's good is, I think, is that, you know, your spin rate is down a little bit, which is obviously going to, you know, potentially increase distance.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a little bit more offline. I mean,
yes.
you know, I will say that, you know, the core head you had a little bit of string, whereas this one was a little bit more, you know, you lost it left a few more times. But your spin, what was good again is your spin average is a little bit lower, which is probably better for you.
I know, yeah.
What's good is that it's literally, you're talking not even 200 RPM between the lowest spinning one and the highest spinning one.
Yeah.
Which means that when you're not quite striking it or hitting a little bit offline, that spin rate is holding.
Yes.
Which is perfect.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want something 1 minute spinning 3.5 and the next minute spinning 1.8.
No. Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, that's pretty much bullseye, really.
Yeah, it is,
you know,
isn't it?
Obviously, like I said, you know, which was it? You hit one quite a way left.
Yes.
But what was good is that the spin didn't drop miles down.
Retained a little bit of spin, isn't it?
If it would have done, you'd have just probably snap hooked it in the tree.
Yeah, and it would have gone. Yeah.
So it still would have stayed in the air. You just unfortunately would have been in the left-hand rough.
Yeah.
Or you know, straight tree.
What's interesting as well, we've gone from that first head, the Max. It's gone up 300 RPM every one.
Well, where's
or 200?
The Max. This is just the Max one.
2.8. 2.8.
So 2.8, 2.5, 2.2. So spin, each head, the spin is coming down 300 RPM.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, really.
Does it? Yeah.
And we've kept the same shaft throughout each head, so it's not like the shafts are dictating the spin.
No.
You know,
loft's the exact same.
Loft and shaft exact same.
Yeah.
But your spin rates, you know, has come down pretty much 300 every time.
Yeah.
With each head, which is what you'd expect.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like I said, offline wise, you know, the core head was definitely the straightest. You know, it might just be a coincidence because you're hitting 5 of each.
Yeah.
But you know, distance wise, there's no doubt the LS is more in your ballpark because you're someone who swings it as quick as you. You need that spin to be a little bit lower than 2.8, 2.5. You know, that's like what you call fairway finder range. Yes. This is more sort of like
we're getting out there. Yeah. I'm a big believer though. I think now.
Yeah, I know you want driver distance.
I want it to go further. Yeah. Like.
Well, I think from looking at that, the LS definitely is what you'd call the one for you. Yeah. You know, out of all the heads. Yeah. So maybe what we'll do now is we'll dial you in.
Yeah. Get that locked in.
Yeah. From this test we've done, you've used same loft, same ball, same shaft.
Exactly the same.
And each time the spin is done what they're saying it should do.
Yeah.
So that's good.
So the 3 and the 3 gram weights were previously up in the top here. What Chris has done now, he's moved the 13 gram weight to the toe to hopefully help that left miss disappear. We've now got the 3 gram weight on the left, 1 in the back, and then the 13 gram in the toe. So
hopefully that will, you know, like I said, just straighten you out a little bit.
Maybe and the loft's the same.
Help with the face, just, you know, keep the face square through impact. Yeah. Loft's exactly the same. Shaft's exactly the same.
Okay. I mean, it's done pretty well so far, isn't it? It's done. I mean,
dispersion-wise, you've got 4 pretty much on the fairway, just by 1. So, yeah, let's just see if we can just get rid of that left miss. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Wow, that's good, isn't it?
Uh-oh.
Straight away, you got a bit straighter. Still carried it 310.
I might be playing a stiff shaft next year, I think. In 2020.
Well, if you don't care about dispersion, you just want. But having said that, look at your dispersion.
I know.
I mean, look at you've hit 6 shots now, and 5 of them are just bang dead straight. Yeah. Perfect. If anything, you're hitting this straighter than any of the other.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Other ones. Well, it is definitely the straightest.
That felt necky. I can feel it a lot off the face, but I assume that's just the LS and.
Yeah. Does it feel different?
Yeah, I just think it's really, really responsive.
Screw it, I ain't looking for it.
But look at that though.
So you've lost it.
You're saying,
the good thing is that you've lost it right there. But look at your spin. It's not like your spin's just jumped up.
It's crazy, yeah.
I mean, maybe what we can do, just go on, if hit one more, maybe we can just tweak the loft up half a degree, well, 0.75.
Right.
And just see if it just that extra, like, just stretches you
bit
out a
extra
little bit as well with the weight.
Yeah.
What's good was that that would have probably been quite left.
Yeah, that would have been the really bad one.
Yeah, well, if that's that's straightened you out straight away, isn't it?
Go on. Oh.
I mean, when you look at that, look how your spin has now dropped down.
Yeah.
Right. So what I'd like to do, if you don't mind me, I'm just going to tweak you a little bit higher.
Right.
I think what's good is that the weight being now in the toe has helped with that left miss.
Yeah.
Like that one would have been left earlier, wouldn't it?
Yes, way left. Well, that's 19 yards of flight. That's still in the
yeah,
fairway.
so what I'm saying is I think the weight has helped you.
Yeah.
But looking at that from a fitting standpoint,
like
I just think maybe, you know, that extra loft might help you.
Yeah.
To go along with the weight change. Nice.
If the spin stays down,
just not quite carried as far, but you still take it.
Yeah, I think that's back to more like the core head. I reckon that's 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5. But that's, you can see you've upped the launch a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, if that's straightening you out from hitting that left shot.
From a fitting perspective, yeah.
I mean, God, that's, you know, the launch angle's a little bit higher. Look, it's gone to 11.5, which is higher than any of the launch angle you've been getting.
Yes.
But just hit another one, just let's see what happens. Again, that would have been probably a bit of a drop-off, wouldn't it? Yeah. I mean, that's going to have no spin on it. Look at it, it's going miles.
Yeah.
But the good thing is that one was there, right? Before, I reckon it'd have been here.
Yeah, I know.
So, you know, I mean, was that a bit toey?
Yeah.
So, as you can see, the spin rate has dropped seriously down.
What's nuts is that it's still carrying like.
Well, you're still launching it quite high.
Yeah, so that's where that.
Even with a toe sort of hooky shot.
Yeah.
But the good thing is, what I like about that one is, what the changes we've done is that I've lofted it up, which has closed the face ever so slightly. Because when you loft it up, it just changes the face angle. Yeah. Which you can probably see at address, no doubt.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
But the thing is, with the weights in the weight more in the toe.
Yeah.
It's helping you. It's stopping it from, you know, really going
falling.
left.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, that spin's too low.
Yes.
But, you know, when you toe it, it's going to be, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to drop, yeah.
That's pretty much on the money, isn't it?
Yeah. Depends what you're looking for as well, isn't it? Like, if you want to get another 10 out of your driver.
Don't get me wrong, I mean, I think by adding that loft,
yeah,
it's not making you hit it quite as far.
Yeah.
But it's making you stay in the fairway.
Yes.
Coupled with the weight change. I mean, like I said, you're not hitting this way left now. Look at your dispersion with it. I mean, you've hit double the shots.
Yeah, and it's all tight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a shame that you've hit that one left. If you wouldn't have hit that one left.
That was with that toe weight, wasn't it, though, without it?
I mean, you tell me. I mean, what does it feel like with the weight in the toe? Is it helping or is it not helping?
To be honest with you, I can't feel much.
You can't hit it left, can you?
I can't feel much difference, but the toe strike isn't going like way left.
That's kind of really good because you don't want to suddenly the driver to feel completely different.
Which is it's strange that just with a 13 gram weight rather than a 3, we're now saving that. Yeah. That left miss.
I think, you know, just like when you look at it, you know, the spin rate's good, the launch is good. And look at your total distance, 329.
And it's all right to go, you know, if we're going to try and fit a driver for long drive, it's fine, but we're not. We're trying to fit a driver for the best possible out on the course, aren't we? Yeah. And like what you're saying, that left one that I hit first, although that might be going further, it's not best for the course, is it?
No, you'd rather hit it 300 yards dead straight every time than hit the odd one 330, but then, you know, only 50% of the time it goes straight. So, I mean, but when you look at it, I mean, you're only 12 yards offline with this driver and you've hit you've hit 12 shots and you're 12 yards offline.
Yeah.
Whereas with your own driver, you were 5 yards offline, but you've only hit 5.
5 shots, yeah.
So you've hit a lot more balls with your own with this driver.
And look at that ball speed.
But I mean, look at your carry with your own driver was 294. With this one, you've gained 11 yards carry.
Yeah.
And you've gained 13 yards total.
13 yards, yeah.
So pretty good.
One less club instead of green, isn't it?
So as you can see, yellow was your own driver.
Yeah.
Red was the Max, you know, not as far and a little bit more wayward. The blue was the core head. We sort of were up there with your own driver, but a little bit more wider. And then with the LS, you know, much more distance, tighter dispersion.
Yeah.
Just a better driver for you.
Yeah, unbelievable.
With this shaft and loft makeup.
Yeah.
So one real cool feature Taylormade have come up with this year is the white dots imprinted on the face. Now, for all you guys who use foresight, Josh, obviously you do as well, there's nothing worse than getting those dots out and sticking them on the face, and then they're really hard to get off. And once they're, you know, when you play in tournament golf, you can't use the white dots, otherwise you'll get disqualified. So what Taylormade have done this year is actually have built in the white dots onto the face. So when you're fitting, like I will be a lot this year with these clubs, it's a godsend because one, you don't have to buy the dots, and two, they're always on there. So perfect. So guys, these drivers retail at $529. They're hitting the shelves on the 30th of January, and you can obviously pre-order them or get fitted in the pro shop with Pete or myself, and look forward to seeing you soon. Okay, so test complete. We just wanted to make the point that this has been a super consistent test. We've used the exact same ball, the exact same shaft with all 3 heads. Loft exactly the same, and pretty impressed that they've done exactly what they said on the tin. Max head was a little bit spinnier at the start. Core head kind of met it in the middle at 2.5, and then the LS was just unbelievable for me. And then one step further as well, we even moved that 13 gram weight into the toe, and it just knocked off that right to left miss and made it even straighter. So super impressed with the new Taylormade drivers. And any other questions, please leave them down in the comments. And thank you very much to Shanklin and Sandown and Chris for giving the opportunity to come and test them out. Cheers, Josh. Cheers.